Well, when it comes to iron range engineering, I have incredible passion. It has been basically everything I've lived and breathed since the beginning of the century. And I have talked for 45 minutes on this topic time and time again across the world. And I was ready to do that this morning. And then I realized that none of you really came here to see me. And I know about 100 people who come in these doors every morning who have just as much passion about their lives as future engineers as I do. So we have put together a program over the next 20 minutes of 8 or 9 of these highly passionate people presenting to you iron range engineering, and I guarantee none of them will be looking at their feet. So I would like to introduce, to get this started, Mr. Ross Hill.
Good morning. My name is Ross Hill, and I am a second-year engineering student here at IRE. And it is my privilege today to talk with you about who we are at Iron Range Engineering. I know what you're all thinking, that all of us here wear styling bow ties. Sadly, not everyone here has jumped on the bow tie bandwagon, but I am going to change that. So you're probably asking yourself, if we don't all wear these wonderful bow ties, who are we? Well, I'm going to tell you. Here at Iron Range Engineering, we are students and faculty. Seems pretty obvious, right? But where there's a difference is that we seek to go beyond just the conventional student-teacher interaction in the classroom. We cultivate both personal and professional relationships, and we find that this makes us much better team members. Here at Iron Range Engineering, we are first and second years, juniors and seniors. And what this means is that we learn, we grow, and we progress. Here at Iron Range Engineering, we are traditional and non-traditional students. And that means every one of us has our own individual story to tell. And we are also inclusive. It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what path you walk in life. Here, we appreciate each and every one of you for your differences. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I actually have a little self-directed learning assignment for you, everyone. I know, don't panic, it's not going to be that hard. It's not going to be a 3-page paper on how awesome bow ties are. But if you want to, come up to me, I'll give you my email, and you can get it for extra credit. No, what I challenge you to do is while you're here taking a tour, grab a student and have a good conversation with them. And by the end of that conversation, I guarantee you, each and every one of you will be thinking the same thing. That here at IRE, we are creative, we are professional, we are technical. That here, we are creators, designers, innovators. That here at Iron Range Engineering, we are all colleagues, and we are all future engineers.
Good morning. My name is Claire Schumacher, and I'm a senior at Iron Range Engineering. At IRE, we are technical. We are responsible for knowing and applying the fundamental principles of engineering. We are responsible for designing and conducting experiments, and we become self-directed and self-regulated learners. While at IRE, we are required to take 16 core courses from business, mechanical, and electrical engineering. In addition to those 16 core courses, we take another 16 courses, advanced technical courses of our choosing, where we build upon our prior knowledge, we explore our interests, and we gain efficacy in our chosen engineering disciplines. We learn the 40 engineering principles as seen on the screen so that we can apply them to our projects here at IRE, to our internships, our co-ops, and our careers to create better solutions for our clients and our employers. In those 32 courses, we complete deep learning activities where we tie the principles we're learning to a physical experience. We do this to deepen our understanding of the principle and to gain hands-on experience in experimental design. And at the end of every semester, each IRE student participates in an IRE final oral exam. This is where we verbally demonstrate our understanding of the principle to an IRE panel of faculty members, and then we apply those principles to open-ended problems. And at the end of our IRE careers, students take the fundamentals of engineering exam, and we pass at the national average or higher. We do all of this, and we understand that it's important because we know as graduate engineers, when we enter industry, we can't expect our employers to hire us and hire us a teacher as well to walk us through all the problems we need to solve. So we become self-directed and self-regulated learners. We create learning goals for ourselves. We develop learning processes like these ones that are unique to each of us so we can approach new learning. And we monitor our learning and look for new ways that we can grow. Because of this, we can confidently solve any problem and successfully deliver solutions.
Good morning. My name is Tony Benito. I'm a Gen 11 student here at IRE. This means that I'm a junior in my first semester here. I've only been here a short time, but I've already learned quite a bit. I've learned about IRE, and I've come to think of it as more than just a school. It's a highly advanced production facility. The product we produce here is a highly technical, highly adaptable professional engineer. We work as teams on real-world projects for real clients and produce technical, professional documentation for these projects. We give multiple presentations throughout each semester, both as our project teams and as individuals. We make ourselves informed and keep up with contemporary issues. We even give IRE talks weekly, which is our version of TED Talks. This is when we introduce topics that are important to us, to other students. The students here are ethical. We make sure that our actions and our projects are done to the highest ethical standards. We're considerate of others in our actions and our words and our deeds. And we take great care when we speak to other students, to faculty, and to visitors at our school. We care about this place, and we want to give it our best effort to represent it in a way that demonstrates this.
Hi, my name is Brad Monson. I'm a Generation 9 student, which means I'll be graduating this spring. So at IRE Engineering, we really try to shy away from maybe the common college culture, really meaning that we can't roll into class at 10 a.m. with sweatpants and a white t-shirt on. But it's way more than that. We arrive on time, we're here 8 to 4 every day, and we meet our deadlines. On top of that, we really strive towards professional responsibility in trying to grow. We don't swear, we talk and write with proper grammar. I mean, I would expect if I walked into a project room and said, hey, me and my brother Ben are going to go to lunch, want to come? I would expect them to even correct my grammar there. And on top of that, another form of communication is you respond to emails in a timely manner. I know before this program, I didn't really think anything of it, like, that's not really that important, but getting through this program and even getting some exposure to industry, I've really found how crucial emails are in industry, and it's such a vital form of communication. And on top of the communication, we simply respect each other. We're so mindful of everyone else's emotions, opinions, and we're not afraid to give our own opinion, even though it might be different, and we're all allow each other to grow and improve as engineers. And it just creates such a positive environment that I know I personally love to come to each and every day. And part of me, it's almost sad to think I have a year left in school, but at the same time, obviously very exciting. So what does really all this mean? It means that I believe at Iron Range Engineering, students come out ready for the workplace. We have all the tools we need, and we are right on track to succeed in industry, right when we put on that cap and gown. And lastly, I think students come into this program expecting 2 years of good education, which they should. And I also think that they're getting out of it is that 2 years of quality education, but also 2 years of high quality industry experience.
Hello, my name is Andrew Hannigan, and I am a senior in IRE engineering. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we are designers that design safer systems, improve efficiency, and sometimes even create entirely new products or businesses. How we do this is using the design process shown. We define our problem with our client. We identify the design objectives that will meet the client's goals. And then we take a look at ourselves and decide what learning goals we have personally on the project at hand. After this, we plan out the scope of our project over a 4-month period, typically. And after this, during the 4-month period, we go through idea generation. We then model and test prototypes. And eventually, we work our way towards a final design evaluation with our client to ensure that we met what they wanted. We manage these projects ourselves as students from the moment that we enter IRE engineering. In our first and second year, we focus on in-house projects, so things like the Baja vehicle and some other interesting applications that are within IRE engineering's walls. After this, in our third and fourth year, we work with our industry partners on real-world design projects that they need implemented. We receive opportunity to lead people during these projects in leadership positions within the project team. And we also lead learning conversations at times, which are our version of classes, except they are not lecture-based. And finally, we also lead people in workshops using various softwares or equipment such as modern engineering tools. We complete advanced operations using Excel, using SolidWorks, Microsoft Project, Ventec, and an assortment of other programs. We use equipment every day to model and test prototypes such as the water jet, our CNC machines, or our oscilloscopes and electrical lab. And we are designers because we take the opportunities that are given to us here and we design quality solutions despite any obstacles that are in our way.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben Monson, and I am a Generation 10 student, so a junior here at IRE. At IRE, we are inclusive. But what does that really mean to you? What does inclusivity really mean? Part of inclusivity is not just having the courage to be inclusive, but when you get to the workplace, having the courage to appropriately take action if you see any sort of uninclusivity. At IRE, we are also a family. When I think of spending time with someone I care about, I feel comfortable with them. I feel like I can communicate with them. At IRE, we know how important it is to not just be team members, not just be classmates, but to be a community. You have to be able to do things outside of class with them. You have to be able to work with them on not just homework, but on everything. So at IRE, we do things like tubing or kayaking or going down to the cities, taking a tour of an American Ninja Warrior training facility, try out a warped wall, epically fail in front of your classmates. Who cares? It's fun. You get the different side of your classmates that you don't normally see. Excuse me. I feel like that is important in any work environment, whether it's in professional business or at school. At IRE, we are inclusive.
Good morning. My name is Katie Smart, and I'm a senior at IRE Engineering. I'd
to welcome you all again here today. I'd like you to just take a look at the two pictures that I've got up on the screen here. On the left is the 1980s satellite phone. It was one of the very first cell phones that we know of. On the right is the 1990s cell phone that we're used to seeing, or at least most of the younger generation is used to. These things, over 10 years, went from about the size of a binder to 3 inches and could fit in your pocket. This is a big improvement. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is continuous improvement. Our students at Iron Range Engineering continuously improve. And so, in order to do this, I'd like to make a little comparison. Students here at Iron Range Engineering are kind of like iPhones. The first year students that come into Iron Range Engineering are your normal iPhone. They have some quirks, they have some bugs. They're not exactly sure what they're doing as engineers yet, but they know that they have a lot of work to do in the 4 years that they're in school. Second year students come back to Iron Range Engineering and learn, hey, there's some skills that I need to work on. There's some techniques that I need to learn to do better at. And so they take those skills that they learned in their very first year at Iron Range Engineering and they work on them, they improve them. They become a 3G and a 4. They still have some quirks, they still have some bugs, but they're working on their way, getting to be better engineers. Juniors are 5 and 5C cell phones. They have some skills that they're really good at now. Maybe they're really good at presenting, or they're really good at being a team member, being inclusive. And there's some skills that maybe they just aren't quite good at yet, like describing those technical terms that they've learned in their classes. So they're still working on becoming better engineers. The seniors are your newest phones, your 6 and your 6 Plus, where they have all these skills and they can explain them to the people that they're working with. They can explain them to their future employers. They can explain everything that they want to about these skills that they've learned, they've almost mastered, they've gotten very good at. And every semester, the students are striving to become better at these skills. They strive to become better than they were before, better than they've ever been at that skill. And it's very important that even though we graduate maybe as a 6 Plus where we have a lot of those skills mastered, we know that as we go out into the career field, there's still going to be an iPhone 7 where Iron Range Engineering students need to continuously improve their skills and get better and better every day. And so as students at Iron Range Engineering, we make sure that we are always continuously improving our skills, no matter where we're at or what we're doing. We're always reaching for that higher goal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sterling Zizmowitz, a second semester senior. Now, if you were to take a snapshot of the engineering field today, you would see that the average mechanical engineer has a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. The average electrical engineer has a bachelor's in electrical engineering. Every engineer in their field has a degree, more or less, in their major. And this is what's different from students from IRE. Here, instead of graduating with a bachelor's in a major, mechanical, electrical, what have you, students from IRE are graduating with a bachelor's in science in engineering with an emphasis in a field, be it mechanical, electrical, chemical, civil. We have people graduating with engineering management. Now, what is the difference between these two degrees? You know, does our degree match up to the qualifications of the standard degree? And yes, and that's primarily in the education and the courses being taught, where someone taking a degree strictly in their major, the majority of their classes will be strictly to that. So a mechanical engineer is taking strictly mechanical classes their physics, their calculus classes in tandem with them, but mainly mechanical. While a student from IRE graduating with a mechanical emphasis is taking more mechanical classes than others, but they're still taking a lot more electrical classes, business classes, management classes, manufacturing classes, all aspects of engineering that tie together. And now, what does this mean for our graduates and our students? This means that they're more dynamic, they're more adaptive, they seem to have a greater ability to work on multidisciplinary project teams. And this in tandem with IRE's teaching of professionalism, inclusivity, presentation skills. This leads to, in my opinion, a more well-refined engineer. Now, obviously, I could come up here and just say these things, and you might take them as fact, you might not. So, a number of months ago, we sent out a survey to ex-graduates to see how they felt they compared to the traditional engineering graduate. Looking at this graph, you can see that they felt they were above them in the sense of professionalism, design, use of modern tools, things of that nature. And, you can look at this and obviously, well, pride's a thing. You're obviously going to probably rate yourself better than everyone else. But what this does show is confidence. That our graduates feel they are working at par or above graduates from traditional programs. And in addition to this survey, we sent out another survey to the employers of our graduates. And from that, we can see that our graduates are still succeeding in their fields in the eyes of their supervisors. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Jager, and I'm a first-year student here at IRE. I can't even begin to tell you all how this has been such an amazing experience for me, and how honored and humbled I am to be a part of this unique community. And how I'm even more excited, looking forward to graduating from IRE in the future. Now with that, IRE has 72 graduates with various job titles. Some of these job titles include computer engineer, controls engineer, civil engineer, chemical engineer, and I'll give you a moment to look over the rest. Now what's even more intriguing is that those 72 graduates work for over 36 different companies. Some of these companies, including Amazon, Bar, Cirrus, Cliffs Natural Resources, and Marvin Windows and Doors, and many others. So the point I'm trying to make today is that when I look out to the audience, I see the faces of my friends, my classmates, and future colleagues. But most of all, I see the future generations of IRE. And I know that someday, our names are going to be up on the screen. And that someday, our job titles will be up here. And that this is who we are, and this is what we do. And that someday, we're going to go out into the workforce, and we're going to show the world what we can do.
Well, was I right? Pretty impressive, isn't it? I asked these people sometime in the last 3 days to step forward and do this. They're pretty amazing. And as the employers here visiting today get to visit with the rest of our students, you'll see that they all have some very amazing attributes. I guess the last question that could be answered is what can we do for you? At IRE, we do projects for companies, especially in the junior and senior year. Sometimes those projects come to us from the industry, we deliver, they go in a drawer, they never get taken back out. Sometimes we deliver and We get emails with pictures of the devices, the systems that our students designed in place as, in some cases, large capital projects with our industry partners. We have in here a potential internship workforce for northeastern Minnesota in the field of engineering that is amazing and could provide high value to your companies. And more importantly, as you saw on the slides that Nicole showed us, we can provide some talented engineers to work in your companies. In fact, some of your companies brought with you today some of your engineers who are graduates of this program. So we are very excited that everybody came here today. I'm going to ask my colleagues to come back out on the stage so we can give them one more round of applause. Come on out, everybody.